watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.
Everyone, and welcome to the penultimate race of the first season of the North-South Racing League. For Ghostfire Media, I'm Josh Laston. With me again this week is Mr. Adam Wood. Adam, how you feeling with 2 races left?
And, you know, it's hard to say, man. We have a stiff competition here, but we got Ryan Johnson. He's got a comfortable lead. If he can just kind of maintain his lead that he has right now and just come out here and put down 2 safe races, he's the champion. I mean, we have about a 21, 22 car, about a 20 car field tonight. So I mean, he can run mid-pack in both this race and maybe the next race and still pull off the championship.
It's always a little less entertaining for the drama going into these kinds of things. But as a driver, you can't ask for a better situation.
Yeah, I mean, Dante Curtis is not out of the picture here. I mean, you know, his luck has had, 2 bad weeks in a row.
Helps if, yeah. Thanks, Gary. Yeah, I realized that I forgot to turn on the sound when we brought up the points, so I was just talking to myself for about the past minute and a half.
Nobody wants to hear me anyways. But hey, no, we got some great battles here tonight. Five Flags always puts on a great show. This league always puts on a hell of a great show. So I want to see what these guys can do here. The famous Five Flags, where the world famous Snowball Derby takes place every year.
And I've run this track probably a little more than I would want to under normal circumstances over the past few months. From running a full-length snowball to running a league that decided to run here in the SLMs, after running here in the SLMs, then running it in the trucks. Not knocking it. It is actually an absolutely fantastic track, but we're running this track at night tonight, and the major issue that we're going to have to contend with, and it's pretty obvious, it is dark on this track, to where if we jump onto the Kelly's Custom Engraving roll bar camera, you can see it's just a poorly lit track. That's all the more it is.
Yeah, I mean, as drivers and the viewers out there, you're going to see tonight that, this track is poorly lit. The corners are not lit up, basically, so you got the front straightaway and a little bit of the back straightaway is lit up. The corners, they said, screw it, you're on your own. Hopefully you don't die.
And that's where we're at, to where some of these guys running dark paint schemes may end up seeing a little bit of extra love, as the first person out to qualify for their 2 laps is Mr. Robbie Clavey. He's going to be visible tonight.
Yeah, he always has a great paint scheme. I really like that, the white with the baby blue there. It looks fantastic.
It does, and he's getting down low on that white line, which is going to be the fastest way around this track. And the problem is you got to be a little delicate on the throttle coming out, because it bounces a little bit, and that's going to put him up at the top of the board. He is the first to complete a lap at this point, but John Cross is the second, takes over first, and we're going to start seeing the laps flying through as Justin Riggsbee takes over the pole position. And he's holding on to it. And we've got 7 people having turned laps at this point. And the invert tonight is going to be 15. And with only 20 people running this evening, there's only going to be a few people left out there.
Yeah, I mean, you got 5 people who will not be benefiting at the end for the invert right now. Maybe a little less. Let's see here. Oh, maybe a little bit more. We gotta see what exactly the field is going to be whenever we get through.
And Dante Curtis is currently our pole sitter by nearly an entire 1/10 of a second. And Ryan Johnson is right behind him, and he's just going ahead and pulling into pit lane, avoiding that tire rather than water barrels on this track. Still not something you want to hit.
No, not at all. We got one of the viewers out there. He will attest to don't hit the water barrels.
Well, and or get stranded on them. But we are watching Dustin Shepard work on setting his first lap. He crosses the stripe, and that's going to be good enough for third, to where he is up there, and that's a fantastic lap with the 18.11. Gets a little loose coming out of the corner on his second lap, so he is not going to be able to improve on that lap. But we'll jump over here and watch Gary Eschen as he's about to complete his first lap, so we'll see where he's going to come out in terms of time, and that's going to be good enough for 5th with an 18.12. And another one of the favorites on any given night, Brian Hacker, looking to complete his first lap. And he's going to cross the line. And let's see, that's good enough for second with the 18.07. Gets a little loose coming out of 2. But that is still going to be, that's a fantastic lap. And right now we'll jump with Jared Apel, who's completing his first lap. And this is going to be fast enough. That's going to put him in 17th, and then he gets loose coming into the corner. And that's going to be all she wrote for him. And Will Eastman is one of 2 to have not set a lap at this point. So we'll see as he is on the back stretch entering turn 3, getting very low on exit, getting a good sweep out of the corner, crosses the line, and that's going to be good enough for 7th with an 18.17, and he's not going to work on trying to get that second lap in.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be the middle of the invert right there. We're going to flip it at 15. He's sitting at 7. So it'll be, what, starting 8th or 9th? Somewhere around there. Horrible math.
8th.
8th. See, I was right the first one, 8.
That's that North Carolina math.
Yeah, fantastic.
But as we get our checkered flag, it looks like Travis Hoffler is not going to go ahead and set a lap. But we can go ahead and take a quick look at our qualifying for the night. Dante Curtis is going to be our pole sitter tonight, with Brian Hacker taking 2nd. 3rd is Ryan Johnson. 4th, Gary Eschen. 5th, Dustin Shepard. 6th, Justin Riggsbee. 7th, Will Eastman. 8th, Matt Dula. 9th, John Cross. And 10th, Jeff Bergener.
11th is going to be Cody Hubert. 12th is Shane Lovridge. 13th will be Devin Rogers. 14th is Adam Gable. 15th is Robbie Clavey. 16th will be Jason Gordon. 17th is Randy Nichols. 18th is Jared Apel. 19th is Jeff Mathis. And 20th is Travis Hoffler.
All right, as these guys are going to go ahead and get themselves warmed up, we have a little bit of a teaser about a special event that is going to be put on by R2C Race Promotions and broadcast on Ghostfire Media. Us for the Alabama 500, June 10th through June 12th, presented by RC2 Race Promotions on Ghostfire Media. Visit RC2 Race Promotions on Facebook for more information on how to register. All right, for anyone out there racing tonight, anybody interested in racing, we will be hosting June 10th through the 12th a full-length Talladega race with R2C Race Promotions. It'll be an entry fee. You will have a proper qualifier. Then we will be doing actual duels to set the race. If you don't quite make it through the duels, there is going to be a last chance duel, and that's going to set everything up for the event on Sunday.
500 miles at Talladega. It'll be a fantastic event. Everybody out there will be gunning to try and get the win, but it's a long race. You gotta be patient. I love Dega.
You love Dega because honestly, you were probably one of the best super speedway drivers that I have ever had the pleasure of sharing the track with. The other one is the person that ultimately doesn't like water barrels.
My teammate is wonderful, Justin Anderson. He loves super speed racing. He just wants somebody to push, and he feels so alone these Talladega weeks. He wasn't able to come out there and have some fun with us. So it kind of sucks having one of the best pushers out there not out on the track. And I'll give a shout out to a third person. I would always go with Marshall Hall. Marshall Hall, that dude, he's an awesome plate racer as well.
But it is going to be an event that is open to everyone, and trust me, be glad you won't have to see me out on track. I'm going to be in the booth. It's going to be a great race. It's going to be a great time. So anyone interested, the purse can get upwards of $3,000. So definitely check it out. And if nothing, plate tracks are the great equalizer. All you have to do is keep it straight and be in the right place at the right time and avoid
the big one.
Yeah. Which I was caught up in twice last night.
I mean, I see all these videos of this next gen, or AK Gen 7 cars out there on the track. And, I've seen some where they're on the last lap. They're, halfway down the back straightaway, probably about, 5 or 6 car lengths back, and able to draft up and almost pull off a win. So, I mean, it doesn't matter where you're at, so to speak. As long as you have the will, you can have the way to get to the front. So come out June 10th and shoot your shot, man.
It's going to be a great time, and I will honestly say I'm not 100% sure if there is a minimum I rating. I've read the rules and have forgotten them at this point because, honestly, Goldfish had better memories than I do under normal circumstances.
Kenneth, either look on Ghostfire Media's page here on Facebook. I know I've shared it a couple times, and then the RC2 Promotions, race promotions. They have their own Facebook page. They're the ones that are going to be facilitating the race. So if you have any questions and concerns, point them to them. They'll be able to take care of it. They should have all the rules in there located on one of our posts or one of their posts.
I've been saying R2C, haven't I?
Yeah.
Ignore me. But we are getting things moving, and it looks like Robbie Clavey in the RC2 Race Promotions car got the perfect position for the invert, so he is going to be starting on that front row. Adam Gable is going to be on his outside. And honestly, this is going to be a very strong race. We've got 125 laps. Should only have to have one stop for fuel, but if there's some cautions, tires can play a major factor at this track. It's not the smoothest surface, and your corner entry is fast.
Yeah, these cars slide a lot in the corners. You enter in, you really push through the center of the corner. You get on the brakes just a little bit to kind of rotate the car around and right back on it. So these tires take a beating.
All right, the lights on the pace truck are off. It is into pit lane. So we are ready to get ourselves racing, and they are now off. That is a very delayed green, and Robbie Clavey gets himself down onto the inside, and we've already got one in the wall, and that's Shane Loveridge. Robbie Clavey gets himself up into that preferred line. He should be able to have the full width of the track, but Devin Rogers is trying to get himself down on that inside.
These guys are running side by side up front, but Adam Gable's kind of stuck right there in that 91 on the outside. Cody Hubbard's underneath him. He's trying to get him cleared. Adam Gable's hoping for a hole, but Jeff Bergener filled that gap up pretty quick. He's going to be able to slide in, going from second to fifth here.
And yeah, Adam Gable If anything, I'm going to slow down right now because that 17 of Matt Dula looks like he means business trying to get up to the front of this pack.
I don't see the outside lane really coming in at all tonight. I think you're wanting that bottom line. I don't think the outside, even on the older tires, are really going to have an impact here. No,
and I think that's probably why these guys are going to go ahead and shoot their shot right now, as Will Eastman, Ryan Johnson, and Dante Curtis, they are putting themselves on that low line to get around Justin Riggsbee and then slowly make their way up to John Cross. But as long as you defend that low line, even though we're starting to see, if we go up to the front here, Devin Rogers and Cody Hubert, they're fighting.
Yeah, Cody Hubert got a really great run, got underneath him. Is now going to try, or actually got on the outside of him and trying to see if he can get the outside to roll. As we were saying, the outside shouldn't be able to roll right now. It's not where you want to be. And he shot his shot right there. Well, let's see what's going to happen. Jeff's already covered that hole. There's no place for him to drop back down.
And it's not going to come. So these guys, it's got to be pretty much a guaranteed pass if you're going to sit there and try to make the move. As we jump back a little further in the pack, Justin Riggsbee is not really falling away nearly as quickly as you would have thought. It's taken him quite a few laps for this lower line to slowly get around him, and I think at this point he's just sitting, hoping that someone's going to let that 31 down.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to be stuck, and right now they're nose to tail all the way back to almost, I think, about 8th place right there with Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, and as we jump back up towards the front here, we're seeing that 30 of Cody Hubert. Again, not really falling very quickly, being able to force those cars down exclusively on the low line, taking away the entire width of the track on corner exit, as we're seeing everybody's only coming up and leaving that full lane up at the top, as we are 12 laps in and Robbie Clavey has not relinquished the lead of this race. He's running a fantastic line and keeping everybody at bay. As we actually see a little bit of a bobble for the 25 on that low line. That's going to bring Jeff Bergener right onto his bumper, and unfortunately, nowhere to go with that 30 on the outside.
Right now, Robbie Clavey is liking this battle. I mean, he's able to pull away. Devin Rogers, he clears them, but then Cody Hubert just slides right back into place where Devin just can't get the full run off the corners like he wants to on some of it. Jeff tried to go 3 wide almost. He looked like he was trying to go underneath him underneath that corner.
It looked like he was thinking we were running another dirt track and he was going to try to pull the slide job there. But now we're starting to see he's getting a great run despite not having the full width of the track. He's probably a few laps away from being able to get that nose down below Devin Rogers.
Yeah, we got Dante Curtis. All right, no, that's Will Eastman. Will Eastman's on the outside of Dante Curtis. They have very similar paint schemes here in the dark. They're both running side by side, a little bit further in the pack. So we got a lot of action throughout the pack right now. Dante Curtis just wants to stay glued to Ryan Johnson. Can't let him get out of his sights right now.
And as we've seen a few different times,
go to the front. We got a challenge and Rogers.
I got the wrong one there. That's going to bring out the caution. Let's take a quick look and see what happens here. Jeff Bergener got the nose underneath and was forced down into the wall by Devin Rogers. Gotta take a little bit of a rewind there to see what happens. And yeah, he just gets that nose down below. Devin Rogers doesn't quite realize that he's that close, and they connect and get thrown into some walls.
I think they just, they were kind of hooked together there whenever Jeff got his nose underneath them. Looked like the front bumper and the rear bumper kind of locked each other, the fenders, and around she went right there. I think he just couldn't get her out off of them.
No, but honestly, that's one way to get yourself up into that spot. Definitely not one of those kind of intentional or anything malicious, but I mean, he is going to be restarting second. Unless race control has something to say about it.
And they're talking right now on the track right now.
All right, while we're waiting on that, let's hear from a few sponsors for the North-South Racing League.
Cross Collision and Body is located in Minerva, Ohio, and specializes in returning your car back to its pre-accident condition. They work with all insurance companies to fix your car the correct way. For scheduling and questions, please visit their Facebook page or call the shop at 330-868-6011. J&G Hardwood Flooring is a small family-owned business which started in 2005, located in Christiana, Tennessee, and serves all of Middle Tennessee. Owners Josh and Brandon Klaczynski have a combined 35 years of experience to serve all of your flooring needs, from new construction, remodels, or even small repairs. For estimates and scheduling, call 615-904-2218.
And we are back just in time for the lights on the pace truck to be off. And I'm going to go ahead and say let's go on board with the man in third, Mr. Matt Dula, for this restart, as we get to see Robbie Clavey is off immediately. And he has that low line. This is the 17. He should be able to clear for second immediately. Gets it done, and we'll go ahead and jump back out because all the action's right behind him. Dante Curtis is on that low line, forcing Jeff Bergener up just a little bit. And then there's that train on that low line. That's Dante Curtis. Then Gary Eschen and Will Eastman all waiting in the wings to go ahead and get themselves around. And Robbie Clavey gets a little bit loose. And that was a poorly timed caution because he just got the nose down below him to take the lead of this race. So let's see what we have here for a caution, and then go and see that move once again. Oh, that's the 30, just getting a little bit of the tip, getting moved and collecting a reasonable amount of the field.
Yeah, Randy Nichols is having bad luck. That's 2 for 2 right there. He's been involved in as an innocent bystander. Last one he tried to go underneath the rack and hit the 30. This time the 30 gets spun again, and he runs into him.
All right, we actually had a few people go ahead and pop into the pits, but this is what I want to take a look at right here, and I'm actually going to back it up just a little bit to see what happens here. And the 73 just doesn't quite get the run coming out of turn 2, and that opens up the door for Matt Dula to get his nose down below. And that's right as the caution comes out, and it was not even a wheel in front when that came out. And that's just terrible luck.
Yeah.
But he is one of the guys to go ahead and dive himself into the pits.
I mean, he's lost the lead. I guess make some pit strategy here. We got Dante Curtis. Dante probably wished he didn't do that. So now he's got to be the guy on the outside having a fight with Matt Dula.
But if anybody's going to be able to get us a great restart and a good fight for this. It's going to be Dante Curtis. He has everything to lose tonight. And we'll go chopper here as the pace truck is off and the 17 is off. And that's a great jump. Gary Eschen's going to be able to hold that 03 up on that top line. And honestly, looking at that top line, that's a lot of the favorites for the night that really have the most to fight with, as the 20 gets a little bit of a nose into the 03 there. And somehow we're surviving, but we're watching our points leader be hung up on the outside as Ryan Johnson is going to be probably making a little bit of a fall back in the field.
Yeah, he's fighting like crazy right now, but Will Eastman, the number 13 car, he's driving hard, staying door to door with him right now. We got Adam Gable waiting in the wings to hopefully try and clear him, but Ryan Johnson is surging through on corner entry and staying door to door with him. So it's going to be a hard fight right there, and Ryan Johnson's not giving up.
And he may be able to clear him coming out of the corner here, because he's getting a great run off of the corner. It's just a matter of trying to stay there. And it looks like 4 is where he's got the advantage, but he just doesn't quite have enough straightaway to be able to do that. But I got to jump up to the front here as we are side by side between Gary Eschen and Matt Dula for the lead. Gary Eschen's got that low line, and he's got the 03 right behind him. And Matt Dula right now he's fighting back hard, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold on for much longer.
Yeah, he's fighting hard. Dante Curtis is trying to follow suit here. He wants to go ahead and clear him so then he can just look at Gary Eschen and fight with Gary Eschen. Looks like he's going to be able to clear him coming out of turn 4, going into turn 1. Now he's on the outside of Travis Hoffler in that number 20 car.
And still nothing open, but there's another car sitting on that outside line and doing a fantastic job of fighting. But I think that coming up right now with Ryan Johnson getting to Matt Dula, who manages to slide himself in. Ryan Johnson, he is performing a Herculean effort to be able to stay there, as we see Adam Gable, or no, that was Jared Apel, getting a little bit loose coming out of the corner there, sliding, catching some wall, and holding on to 11th at this point.
Yeah, these guys are trying to hang tough on the outside. I mean, they're figuring it out too. I mean, we're only 38 laps, 125. So, I mean, we got a long ways to go. And if you can figure out how to roll this outside earlier in the race, it'll help them later on in the race.
And honestly, I would say that Ryan Johnson has this figured out. It's more just how long can he do this? And my bigger question is how long can Will Eastman's tires hang on?
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a heck of a job with the brake and throttle control to be able to stay low and actually still get a really great run off the corner to keep Ryan Johnson at bay. And Ryan's doing a fantastic job of diving it in and keeping on his rear quarter panel and surging down the straight.
I'm going to interrupt you here because we've got side by side for the lead. Dante Curtis is down below Gary Eschen, not completely clear. And Gary Eschen's doing a great job of trying to keep himself up side by side and keep them a little farther down on the track. But I think this is one of those inevitabilities that Gary's going to go ahead and lose that position. But what he needs to do is try to minimize the damage, accept that you have lost it, realize that right now there's a bigger gap back in 4th to where let these 3 guys go, minimize the damage.
No.
Or
we have a caution.
we have a caution.
Yeah, I want to give it a shout out. You know, we have Travis up there weekly. We see him in the top 5. You know, a lot of times more in the top 10. And, you know, he's up there on pit strategy, kind of being racy. But, man, is he putting on a heck of a show tonight.
Yeah, he's having a fantastic run as we'll take a quick look here. And John Cross Gets a little bit loose coming out of 2, tries to collect it. Instead, unfortunately, collects the 25.
Devin Rogers did a fantastic job. Did a good 360 and just kept going there.
And straight into the pits. Perfectly timed, but it looks like he may have a little bit more than some paint damage. But that's going to bring us here, and everybody makes the trip in with the exception of the 30 and the 29, and we'll watch the race off of pit road. And Ryan Johnson with a 13-second pit stop. That is going to be the difference in this race for him. I don't know if that was a bit of a short fuel and only taking outsides, but apparently it was the right move to get himself up into 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, we still got a long race. These guys are having about around a 60 lap fuel window that they have to go into. So this right here puts them around lap 100, 105. So they still got at least one more pit stop in them, in the next 20, 30 laps. But like you said earlier in the race, it's not really the fuel we got to worry about, it's the tires. The tire wear here is going to be key. Keeping these wonderful tires cool as they slide, slip and slide all over the track.
And lights on the pace truck are off. We are a half a lap away, but with this caution, it was nearly perfectly timed to split this into 3 different sections, so 3 sets of tires. But the pace truck is off, and the 30 of Cody Hubert is off the second it drops down below that line. That's going to get him completely clear. Ryan Johnson is also clear, the 91. And
wide.
We have, that's quite a bit of chaos that we're starting to see going on back here. Looking like we may have 1 or 2 people ending up in the wall. The 29 of Jason Gordon is looking a little loose. Looking like he may be catching a little bit and taking.
31, Justin Riggsbee threads the corner there and gets through there. 3 wide middle of the 29 and Matt Dula.
As we got to jump back up here as right now Ryan Johnson gets his nose down below Cody Hubert. He may have just gotten to the point where he gets to lead that lap, but it's only a matter of time before those fresher tires on the 3 are going to wear away, so he needs to get this move done as quickly as he can before they can normalize, and he's got clear.
And now,
Gary Eschen gets turned by, it looks like, the 11. And here. Nope, that's in front of him. Yeah, just trying to find these sometimes, because now it's not really telling me that, yeah, this is the one I wanted. Where this is the pass, and he just gets that nose down there, gets forced down into the wall, which is not going to be fun for anyone. I was going to say, this camera angle may be just a little, yeah, that's the better one. As, yeah, just gets turned down into the wall. There was a little bit of net code there trying to be nice, but once it realizes that everybody's there, it's time for that to go ahead and bounce off. So we will take another quick commercial break while we're under caution.
Five Star Realty Group is located on the Emerald Coast in beautiful Panama City, Florida. Five Star Realty Group has years of experience in residential properties, investment opportunities, vacation rentals, and commercial properties, and looks forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Kelly's Custom Engraving is a locally owned and operated business located in Wellville, North Carolina, specializing in custom engraving of wood, leather, glass, acrylic, and many more materials. Be sure to like and follow their Facebook page to view all of their amazing products and place your order.
All right, and we are back. And from what we are being told, it's a good thing that we're trying to keep our G rating, and it's a good thing we don't have the hot mics with iRacing right now. Obviously,
right
these
now,
are...
I get to, Josh is kind of clueless. He doesn't get to really listen into the drivers as being the broadcaster, but me as the co-broadcaster, I get to listen to the racetrack, and it was spicy after that one. So there was some tempers have flared, but hey, we'll see if these guys can cool down, get it back, regrouped. We still have a long ways to go here. We're at lap 56 of 125. Plenty of time for a lot more action here on this track.
Yeah, we've still got 70 laps, just under now. So we can calm ourselves down, as it seems like Ryan Johnson is going to select the restart from the outside, which he should be able to get a great jump there. And especially since he gets to dictate when they go, we'll get to see the pace truck peel off, and he's waiting a little bit longer than everybody else has. Gets going. He's going to be completely clear, and he's pulling Brian Hacker along. But that inside line, they're not giving an inch. But Dante Curtis is looking like he's going to try to make some moves around that low side. Coming out of the corner, and caution is back out.
Caution is breeding cautions here.
We had some good runs, but things are getting a little heated. So let's take a look and see what happens here. And oh, that's just a bad spotter call. Shane Loveridge a little bit off pace, waiting for everybody else, and yeah, just I would call that the bad spotter.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time, bad spotter. Just it happens.
Yeah, and we've all been there if you've raced in iRacing, and sometimes that little bit of lag that we're hearing from iRacing servers that we call netcode, it'll even mess with your spotter, and sometimes it'll tell you that you're clear and you're not, and you take out half the field. Sometimes you get it and you barely squeak by and give somebody the code brown when you cut in front of them.
Yeah, a lot of times, iRacing can't really, any iRacing spotter can't, justify runs. So you don't know if the person's got momentum. You hear it clear, you move, but they had momentum, so they were coming back. So it's another thing when you're relying on technology and not a human spotter.
Oh, I've even had human spotters be terrible with that. 99.9% of the time, he's fantastic. But he's given me a bad call once or twice.
Just recently, huh?
No, it was during a full-length Indy 500. He was focused on my teammate more than me because he was doing better, but he was focusing on me as I was battling, and he was just like, oh, I didn't think his closing speed was that fast. Thanks. But the lights on the pace truck are off, and Ryan Johnson's taking that outside once again. And we'll see if that low line, which is Cody Hubert, Brian Hacker, and Dante Curtis, if they're going to be able to pull themselves past that outside line as the pace truck peels off. Let's see when he decides to go. waits until he gets a nudge from the 91 before he takes off. And that low line seemed to be onto him. And they are right there behind him. And now it's just a matter of time before we can get ourselves completely clear. And that's going to pull Cody Hubert up into second, Brian Hacker into third, and Dante Curtis right now battling for that fourth position on the low line.
Yeah, Randy Nichols has rebounded after those two wrecks he was in earlier. He's right there in sixth spot. He's trying to close the gap right there on Dante Curtis. So if Dante does get around Adam Gable there, he's able to fill that gap so he can take over that fifth spot from Adam.
Honestly, it's looking like he thought about throwing it down the middle there and taking a 3 wide into turn 1.
That's what Justin Riggsbee did about 2 restarts ago. He thread the needle, and Randy Nichols is putting pressure on the back of Dante. I don't know if that's helping him or hurting him.
Honestly, it's probably not really doing too much. It's just a matter of he's wanting to be completely certain that he is clear so he can safely make his way up and start to get the process started on getting himself into third and moving back up to the front of the field.
Yeah, Dante Curtis was able to get by him. So was Randy Nichols. Adam Gable was able to drop in right behind Randy Nichols in that 6th spot. So we're looking right now, they're just 2 by 2, a little bit further back there. Justin Riggsbee's on the outside of Gary Ashton. He's trying to make his way there. He just hung out there to dry. There's nowhere for him to fit in. They were nose to tail all the way to the end of the field.
Well, and these are some of the guys that were up front running strong, to where we've got Gary Eschen, who was involved in the caution 2 incidents ago, and he is driving hard to get himself back up to the front of the field. Will Eastman, another one that was running up towards the front, trying to get himself back up there. Devin Rogers, basically everyone has been in the top 5 at some point tonight. And yep, got to get back up here because Dante Curtis, I need to figure out what's going on here.
Cody Hubert got passed by Brian Hacker and gave him a little tap after that.
Yellow is back out and is, I do not claim the commentator's curse for this one. Fortunately, though, Devin Rogers is the one that's showing up on my screen as being the one to bring that one out, and gets a nice shove from the 10 of John Cross, and around we go.
Around she went, man. Just to give him tip just a little bit too hard there.
All right, we're starting to see a few guys dive in, and it looks like we're going to get about half the field into the pits right now. And yeah, we're going to end up with a little bit of a race off here as Adam Gable, Justin Riggsbee, John Cross, Brian Hacker, Robbie Clavey, Jason Gordon, Randy Nichols, and Jeff Mathis all come in. So we'll get to see the race off of pit road as it's looking like we're taking tires. But I would venture the guess of only outsides, and that seems to be the case.
I mean, the one thing you have to worry about here, it's a very small track, and when you're at small track races, you can't stay on pit road for too long, as we see the, looks like Shane Lovebridge right there. They're all trying to get out right before the pit leaders come by. You only have such a small window to get on and off pit road.
And you don't want to be the one that is trapped there, because you go a lap down. But I'm somewhat surprised that we didn't see more of the field dive in there, because we're within the window for that last stop. Granted, these tires may be doing okay because we've seen a lot more caution laps tonight.
These heat cycles, you know, I mean, kind of put some of these guys who pitted like maybe 1 or 2 times ago equal playing level here, so they haven't had too many green flag laps here to make it worthwhile to go in if you're in the running top 5 or 7.
I would say that somebody, so we'll go with Gary Eschen, pitted on lap 53. Everybody else is around the 43 with the exception of Cody Hubert in that 30. He's going to need to make another stop. If we keep having cautions at this tick, there's a reasonable chance that these guys that pitted on lap 43 aren't going to have to stop again. A chance.
I mean, you chance it to see if it's going to be more not green white checkers, but caution breeding cautions. But let's digress. Pace truck is in. The cars are rounded the corner. Ryan Johnson gets a phenomenal jump. He's able to clear the 30 of Cody Hubert going into the turn 1. We got the 51 on the outside of Dante Curtis. Matt Dooley's trying to close the gap right there and keep Jared Apel on the outside right there. Jared Apel gets a little loose right there going through the corner.
I saw some sparks there.
He was able to recover there and drop right there in for his 5th spot. Right in front of Travis Hoffler. Travis is able to work his way back up after these pit cycles, back up to 6th.
And he's, again, looking strong tonight. But right now, the man that I'm going to be afraid of is Gary Eschen. He's on that outside line. We've seen him run quite a few laps on the outside. He's going to be fast. I think the thing that's going to end up causing him trouble is the cars in front of him. Even though that was not the best lap, and now he's got Brian Hacker on that low line, and okay, no caution. Just wanted to quietly let that one play out there because that is the second time those two have connected, but we stay green.
Yeah, we got the 31 right there of he's Justin Riggsbee. There we go. Just got by Travis Hoffler. Randy Nichols is getting by him right now. He's stuck on the outside. He's going to drop in. We got Jared Apel underneath Matt Dooley right now, running side by side up front. These guys are working hard, trying for that 4th spot.
Yeah, and here's the one that I'm very interested in watching. You could see it from a distance. Dante Curtis is trying to get himself up into that 2nd place. You're seeing him slicing and dicing and blinking. But you're seeing, we're going to go ahead and move away from him for a moment here as his connection seems to be having an issue. And that I move away from him and he seems to be fine. But he is right there on the bumper of Cody Hubert, probably trying to push him into a bit of a mistake, but he's running solid right now, but he's also probably a little concerned because that 03 keeps disappearing occasionally.
Yeah, he's nervous whenever that right there happened.
Yeah, that's never what you want to see with someone right there and pushing you as hard as they can. But I got to jump back here as we're seeing Randy Nichols trying to force his nose down below Justin Riggsbee. He gets himself into position and he should be able to get that pass done, but he's going to need that 51 of Jared Apel to be on point and getting himself a little farther forward to make sure that he can actually get up into that top line. And he's going to pull that slide job right there on the 31. He's going to try to cross him over. They touch and okay, no caution again.
He was able to really catch that slide very well. I mean, he lost a lot of spots, but Randy Nichols did a heck of a job right there and saved it. We got the guys behind him. They all checked up. They all lost a lot of ground by doing it, but it saved their cars by checking up like that, and the field did a fantastic job recovering.
And that's the kind of racing that I love to see, is these guys that being a gentleman's more important than trying to keep the position. And We're still racing. We've got 90 laps in the books. That's going to leave us with 35. And I got to jump back up here as Travis Hoffler is right there on the bumper of Justin Riggsbee. And I think Travis is one good exit from being down below that 31.
Travis gets a great center. I've been watching him whenever I talked about him earlier when he was running behind Dante Curtis. He was matching Dante's corner lap for lap, but he looked like he just couldn't get the drive off that he needed to, because he was better than Dante in the center of the corner, but without him being able to roll through it, he just had to give up his exit.
As we jump a little farther back in the field, as Brian Hacker gets around Matt Dula, it looked like Matt Dula might have just said, you know what, you guys can have the corner, you guys can sit there and battle. I'm just looking to finish this race. As the 11 and the 69, they are going at it right now.
Yeah, very close racing. Brian Hacker, I mean, just got the word he was clear, slid up right in front of him to ensure that he got that position away from him, and then they've been racing basically nose to tail for the past 4 or 5 laps.
Yes, but I gotta get myself back up to the front here as Dante Curtis is down to about 0.2 of a second on Cody Hubrid, and he is trying to find any way he can, but that blinking is not going to do him any favors, as this is just asking for netcode as he is throwing one down, and who knows if he was clear because he's gone.
Exactly.
And that's going to be when iRacing is going to go ahead and just give that kind of thing generally to the car with a more stable connection until he reappears in the middle of it.
Yeah, Dante Curtis is doing his best to try and find a way underneath him, but Cody Hubrid's driving very defensively, hitting his marks lap after lap and getting a great exit at the same time, so he's not giving up too much on corner entry and still gets a great corner exit so he can stay in front of him.
And that's what you need to do, is slow in, fast out, but make sure you are covering that low line as Dante Curtis is trying once again, and he kind of gets pushed down close to that wall where he has to back out of the move, but he still gets a fantastic exit. And Cody Hubrid defending perfectly, and now Jared Apel is right there waiting for any kind of mistake from these guys in front of him, and Jared Apel takes out Dante Curtis. I'm gonna save my editorializing there, because that was just a hard corner exit. It looked like, I would even go as far as to say, brake failure.
Yeah, I mean, he sent it in there, and there's no way he's going to stop and try to rotate that one.
No, and we'll take a quick look one more time, and I want to get on board with this one. And he does get a fantastic run out of turn 3. And
There was nowhere for Dante to go. I mean, Dante was holding his line, which he's supposed to do, and he just sent it in. And as he went down, the front nose just lifted and came up into Dante.
And we have a few guys hitting pit road. That's Devin Rogers, Matt Dula. I mean, Dante Curtis and Jared Apel, I don't think that they're going to be coming back out on track after that one, because I would say that those cars have seen their last laps of the night. But we have 23 laps to go, so we are getting them racked back up, and I would say that now is going to be the time to where we're going to see some, okay, I'll call them questionable moves to try to gain some positions, especially from the guys on the outside line. But we're closing this one in. And we'll see what happens going through. Hopefully we can at least get a few good laps before we see too much contact. And it looks like we're getting ourselves back. 2 racing lights on the pace truck are off. And Ryan Johnson switching it up, taking that low line. And that is going to be the best opportunity for Travis Hoffler to go ahead and get himself up into second, because Cody Hubert is going to be in second, and we are going back racing, and Ryan Johnson cuts it down quickly, gets himself moving, but he is going to be in trouble because that 30 had a great run going into the corner. They almost touch, but we're going to have to go back into the pack here as the 20 and the 13 are going side by side, with the 31 and the 11 right behind them doing the same thing. These guys are going to do everything they can to stay too wide for as long as they can.
Randy Nichols right behind Justin Riggsbee at 31. I mean, he's not giving him an inch of room. Justin Riggsbee is trying to feather it. He's the man in the middle right there. He's both on the bottom, and he's got the guy on the outside as they're basically 6 deep right there, side by side. And he's just in the middle with no place to go right now. As 20 finally clears Will Eastman. Will Eastman gives him a little shove.
But we have caution back out on the track with 18 to go, and it looks like Jeff Mathis may have been the one behind this caution. Oh, just gets a little bit of a nudge from the 17. 17 goes off down below track, and yeah, that one's Matt Dula just getting a little too low on track. Really don't have anything more on that one.
Yeah.
That one's pretty cut and dry. So let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back to close this out.
Track Time Entertainment is located in Texas and builds custom driving simulators with a personal touch. Rigs are fully customizable with color options and utilize 80/20 US extruded aluminum. These rigs offer a wide range of adjustability, as well as different options for wheels, shifters, and keyboards. The possibilities are endless. If you can dream it, Track Time Entertainment can build it for you. RC2 Race Promotions is an iRacing event planning and coordination service. If you have an idea for a special one-off money race but don't have the time to handle all the legwork, RC2RP can help. We offer event conception, planning, day-to-day operations, and race event services to cover all of your needs. We are competitively priced and offer detailed services to make sure you get the most bang for your buck. To inquire, visit us on Facebook.
All right, and we are back with 15 laps to go. And at this point, our race leader has not pit since lap 43. Second place since lap 26.
I mean, they're holding on. I mean, I think track position is king here. If Ryan Johnson just has to continue to get these fantastic restarts. He's been cutting it close. Cody Hubert's he's sitting there timing it. I mean, that last one's very iffy for Ryan Johnson to clear him going into turn 1. So Ryan Johnson has to keep it guessing. Can't do the same thing every single time. He's got to be able to change it up and keep these guys on their toes.
All right, we're going to go back to racing with 12 laps to go. Ryan Johnson is leading us to the green flag. Cody Hubert in second, Travis Hoffler in third, Will Eastman in fourth, and Justin Riggsbee in fifth. And let's see, does Ryan Johnson go at a completely different time? I'm going to say he's going to wait a little while longer, but we'll have to wait and see. No, pretty much the exact same position, but he gets the better jump and gets his bumper right now. Gets it completely clear. The 3 and the 30 are going to go ahead and take off, but the 20 and the 13, and we have action in the back, and that doesn't bring out the caution.
We had like 3 cars sideways there in turn 3 and 4.
Quick look to see what happens here, and just a little bit of chaos in front. That was the 31, but let's get back to live racing, as this is still the battle on track. It's Will Eastman trying to hold on as much as he can to keep himself up in this top 5, but Brian Hacker is down below.
Battle for the lead.
And the battle for the lead is Cody Hubert gets his nose down below Ryan Johnson. And Ryan Johnson had a fantastic battle on the outside earlier in the race. And we cross the line, 8 to go, and he may be able to hold on to at least second, but he wants that race win.
Yeah, and I mean, Travis is right there. Travis, I know he's probably digging in hard right now, trying to figure out a way to push the 30 by him so then he can attack Cody.
And that is, normally this smells just death for these guys, but we had Gary Eschen and Brian Hacker battling behind them, and that was holding them up. But right now, Gary Eschen is free to try to catch this pack, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, I think Cody's about to get free right now, and Travis is trying to go. We got 5 laps to go here at Five Flags.
And these guys, that 20, he is not going to give this up, because he knows full well if he tries to just give a little bit of space, that is going to open up the door for Gary Eschen to try to stick a nose down below. Best case scenario, he gets a pass done. Worst case scenario, something goes wrong.
Exactly. Travis is doing his best to hold him off. Gary Eschen, though, has closed the gap. He's almost right there with 2 laps to go here. Or sorry, 3 laps to go here.
And
it's going to get spicy on this the final lap.
I have a feeling there may be a few nudges in the future here. But with this 2x2 action that we have going on for second place, that's going to make it difficult for the 23 to make a move. But we have 1.5 laps to go. The 20 is almost becoming a bit of a roadblock. But Cody Hubert is going to get that white flag and lead us to the last lap. And he is just set sail. But Ryan Johnson and Travis Hoffler, these guys are just holding on to this second place, as Cody Hubert is going to take the checkered flag. But Ryan Johnson, we were 3 wide coming across the line, and unfortunately, we got a little bit of a blink there from Gary Eschen, and it made it to where we lost him. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this one back up, because the 23 is right there on the rear bumper. Ryan Johnson looks to get a little bit out of sorts. Oh no, this is a full lap back. And yeah, we had 4 cars battling for the win, or for second place. And that was That was a finish.
And, Gary came across the line and blinked out. I'm not sure what happened, but it scores him one lap down. So he goes from being right there in the top 4 there back to 13th.
I was going to say, for me, it's showing that he was in 4th, but that's also probably one of those strange things about our software. All right, so our winner tonight is the 30 of Cody Hubrid, followed by Travis Hoffler in 2nd, Ryan Johnson 3rd, Will Eastman 4th, Brian Hacker 5th, 6th, Randy Nichols 7th, Adam Gable 8th, Matt Dula 9th, Shane Loveridge, and 10th is Justin Riggsbee.
11th will be Jeff Mathis. 12th will be Robbie Claby. 13th will be Gary Eschen. 14th will be Jason Gordon. 15th is Devin Rogers. 16th is Jonathan Cross. 17th will be Jared Apel. 18th will be Dante Curtis. 19th is Jeff Bergener. And 20th will be Dustin Shepard.
All right, let's go ahead and get our race winner up for the night. And I'm confused, but I think
User was moved to your channel.
It's time to chat with the winner, Mr. Cody Hubrid. That was a great race from you tonight.
Yeah. When it started out, I didn't think it was going to end up that well. And the way the cautions were falling, I was like, I have nothing to lose, so I'm just done pitting. And if I ran out of gas, I ran out of gas, and pretty much left it at that.
You pitted way late or earlier than everybody else. I mean, you were out there, I think, with oldest tires of the front 5, 7, maybe even the front 10. You had the oldest tires.
The oldest tires in the race.
In the race, sorry. Josh is my stats man. Yeah, the whole entire race.
You did 99 laps.
Wow. I was actually getting better than I thought as we went on. I run my fastest lap with probably 40 laps on the tires. But Five Flags is one of my stronger tracks, and I had nothing to lose, so we gambled and it paid off.
I mean, these are the kinds of races that you live for, that, you know what? Cautions into the wind and just run.
Yep. And then as the cautions kept falling and falling, I was like, I need one more caution and then I'm good to go. And when that last one came with like 15 to go or whatever, I was like, I was probably 8 laps to the good. So then I set my sights on Ryan and pray to God he messed up, and a 1 in a million chance he did. I got under him and got by him.
Again, I cannot say enough that this was just one of those absolutely perfect nights. That you were flawless. Your restarts were on point behind Ryan as well.
Yeah, I was trying to time him out, and he run like the first 2 or 3 the same. And then I started thinking he was going to switch it up, and then he switched it up a little bit, and then he went right back to doing what he was doing, and then he did it again on that last restart, and that really helped. And I got down in front of Travis, and I said he slipped a little bit, and I was lucky enough to be there.
Yeah, I mean, you did a fantastic job. We were, focusing on you, and he slipped up just a little bit, and you're able to capitalize. I mean, it's hard to fight that you put up there to have him run on the outside for so many laps there, but you're able to clear him and then set sail. And I know you were looking in your rearview mirror, seeing him battling very hard with Travis there, and that was probably the best thing in your mind right now, going through and just like, please let this go green.
Yeah. When I got under him, I slipped a little bit, and Travis got right on me. And I was saying to myself, I was like, I'm not going to intentionally stay here to let Travis get next to him because I got to get going. And it just so happened that Travis kind of slid in there where Ryan couldn't get down, and I got just that little bit of buffer that I needed.
No, it was an absolutely amazing run. First win of the year. One of hopefully many to come, even though there's only one more race. And we get to see you at Langley. How are you feeling about that one?
Oh, not good. I really don't like Langley at all, but with it being one of the trophy races, I think I'm going to give her a go.
That's the spirit, and you know what? After this week, that's probably all the more confidence you need to be able to go out there and throw together an amazing race.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that race will be another one where you're going to have to get lucky on your pit strategy, and as the tires wear out there, it gets harder and harder to pass. So you're just going to have to gamble and hope you're there for a shot at the end.
All right, fantastic race. Good to finally get to chat with you up here in the booth, and I'm looking forward to hopefully getting to chat with you next week.
Yeah, hopefully I get to stop up and see you guys again.
That would be fantastic. All right, take care, sir, and go enjoy the win.
We will. We're gonna shotgun bush lights till the sun comes up.
That is the way to do it. All right, take care, sir.
Yeah, see you guys.
User was moved out of your
All
channel.
right. Onward to the
User
second
was moved
place
to your
of
channel.
Mr. Travis Hoffler. How are you feeling after that one?
Man, I feel pretty good after that.
I mean,
oh, go ahead.
Man, I've been rooting for you all season. You've been slowly creeping up to the front. You have your moments when you're up in the top 5, but you're always usually in top 10. But I saw you tonight. You're brilliant driving through the center. You had a better center drive than most of the other cars out there. It's just, when people got in front of you, you just couldn't make that center drive off work for you. But you're able to close the gap. And, man, you look very strong all night long.
Yeah, I couldn't get off the corner like those guys were getting off. I think it was because I was rolling the center so much and getting so far in there on the entry. But man, I'm just so stoked to be running up there with those guys. It feels good. Makes me feel good.
I would say that the tail end of that race, the last 5 laps, the defense that you had to hang on to what for a while seemed like it was going to come down to a thousandth of a second between second and third. But being able to hold off the points leader to be able to bring home the second, that has to be one of the best feelings.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ryan Johnson, man, he's a goat. That's for sure. I feel honored to be able to race him side by side for the last 10 laps and put on a show for the fans. And I love this track. We put a lot of laps in here, so I'm glad it's paying off.
It showed. It was one of those nights that, as Adam said, we've seen you slowly creeping your way up to the front. Been looking forward to the opportunity to finally really get to chat with you.
Yeah, I'm not very good at the whole interview thing. I don't get to do it very much, but definitely gonna take advantage of it. I had a blast. I love that the NSRL puts us on and gives us a place to race on Monday nights. And I've been racing with them since season 1 basically, and had a blast ever since.
Honestly, if I wasn't up here in the booth, I would probably be trying to run with you guys and be the guy at the back.
Come on, man. We can have an in-race reporter.
I'm not able to focus on multiple things. I would become the one bringing out the cautions because I've tried that before.
Well, I appreciate you guys putting the broadcast on and everything you guys do for the league and keep it up. It's leaps and bounds from where we were, and I really appreciate it.
No, but you can definitely tell that you were excited. It was a great run. The only question I have is, how great of a run is next week at Langley?
I prefer short tracks, so I'm looking forward to Langley. It's going to be a tough track, tight corners. It's a little tiny bull ring. It's going to be beating and banging and a lot of hurt feelings, but it should be fun. Close out the season strong.
I will agree with that statement. It's one of my favorite tracks in this car, and yeah, probably the best way in my mind to close this one out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna put some practice laps in there because, like I said, it's a tight track. You got to be very technical there and hit your marks.
But it's going to be a great race. We'll let you get to celebrating the second, and maybe we'll get to chat with you next week as well.
I hope so. Thank you, guys.
All right, take care, sir.
User was moved out of your channel.
That just leaves us with one last
User
person to
was moved to your
chat
channel.
with tonight, Mr. Ryan Johnson. Third. What's going on, man?
I think I just used up my tires there on that longer run we had. It definitely seemed like Cody was faster on the short runs. He had the short runs figured out, and I don't know. I didn't.
I got you, man. Hey, man, you look strong though all night long, yeah. You know, you finally made your way up to the front, and then basically made your bed. You're like, all right, cool. I made it to the front. I'm not pitting anymore. Track position is king. We're gonna do this, and you know, you made it work for quite a long run, but then you slipped up just one time and just opened up the door too much.
Yeah, like I said, Cody was fast. I think he has a previous win here at this track, and I just somewhat recently kind of figured out how to run it. Yeah, we felt good. That invert really shook things up, considering that was almost the whole field, and we had to play our cards right, and we pit early, and we knew we weren't going to make it on fuel, and it seemed like we were going to go green for quite a while earlier in the race. But yeah, I mean, once we had enough fuel to make it to the end, I was like, I don't want to lose all that track position, because it didn't seem like the tires fell off that much. But yeah, we'll take a third. Not a bad night. Another good points night.
And probably the points night that you needed to close it out, but I don't know yet. There is no information in front of me.
Yeah, unfortunately, whatever happened with Dante and Jared there, I didn't see it. I don't know. That sucks. I've been on the receiving end of that before too. But we'll see. Yeah, hopefully we got it closed out, move on to next season, and start fresh, because it's always a good race, especially throughout the whole season. You know, these guys are always fast and competitive and keep us on our toes, keep us getting better.
You can't really ask for much more, as having constant competition that forces you to better yourself to stay up at the front.
Definitely, and considering I think I've been with these guys for 4 out of their 5 seasons, and I was in a different street stock league for a couple seasons, and it took me a long time to get better at these things, but finally it's paying off.
All right, so we close out at Langley. How are you feeling?
Nope, don't like it. No, I know I don't seem like I like short tracks. I do like some of them, but yeah, Langley's not one of them. I've just never ran good there, and maybe it'll take a good run for me to change my mind, but not too excited.
Oh, come on. It's the season finale, and if nothing, you will have that in the back of your mind the next time you run it.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I've always come to these races with an open mind. I try not to be too upset before the race, because then it just messes with your confidence and your concentration and, you know, all that. So, I mean, open mind, but previous experience, yeah.
Hey, I won't lie that part of the reason why I love that track is that's where my first win in iRacing came from.
Ah, see, there you go. That's why you like it.
But no, I still like it. I actually liked it before that point, but it has that special spot in my heart.
fair enough. I mean, everybody's got their likes and dislikes.
But
Yeah, I'm not a short track fan at all. That's why I'm up here in the booth and let you talented gentlemen like yourself be out there and have some fun on the track. I prefer the intermediates and super speedways.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I actually tend to like all sorts, like short tracks, intermediate, super speedways. I pick and choose specific tracks. I mean, within those categories that, I do well at, I know how to get around. Even road courses. I mean, hell, road racing is actually a lot of fun too, So, yeah, I mean, I like everything, just certain tracks.
yeah, and that's my way, but yeah. All right, sir, we will let you get off to dissect the race, and we will catch you next week, sir.
For sure. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Take care, sir.
You too.
User was moved out of your channel.
That is gonna do it for us here at Ghostfire Media for the North-South Racing League. Adam, we've got one more week, and I'll actually be kind of sad to have the season come to a close.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be bittersweet. I mean, these guys put on a heck of a show. Can't wait to see what the next season here, season 6 of the North-South Racing League. So I figure, these guys are going to put on a heck of a show. Can't wait for that new season to start up later in the year. But I want to see, will Ryan Johnson be able to clinch it after tonight and just, be able to cruise at Langley next week?
I have a feeling that that's how things are going to play out, but we'll have to wait and see. But that's going to do it for us here at Ghostfire Media this week. Make sure and catch us for the season finale at Langley next Monday. Catch us on Wednesdays for the Sim 500 and Sundays for the AOLL Cup Series, and actually starting in 2 weeks, the AOLL TNT Series, which is going to be, well, me and Adam running around making fools of ourselves in the 87 Classic Cup cars at a bunch of tracks that are going to be
a handful.
That's one way to put it. But one last thank you to all the sponsors of the North-South Racing League: Cross Collision Embodied, J&G Hardwood Flooring, 5-Star Realty Group, Kelly's Custom Engraving, Track Time Entertainment, Nelms Racing, and RC2 Race Promotions. Thank you very much, everyone, and we will see you next week.
Thank you for watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.